You are watching my Hardcore Ironman Level 3 Skiller first progress video. This is going to be a new series on my channel. I can't guarantee that it won't deprecate the Ultimate Ironman progress series simply because that series, which originated as a Level 3 Ultimate Ironman Skiller, I feel like I achieved what I set out when I created that account, which wasn't necessarily to max, so I had some concepts and notes where I thought this is the plan that I could do in 5 years to achieve that with my current schedule and in life. I really didn't set out to make that account to max. I set it out to achieve the Ultimate Ironman Level 3 Skiller mode. And now that account is a pure and I've been enjoying it, but I've lost so many clips because of how bad Camtasia is for not editing videos, but recording content. And so that series never really was what it could have been. I was pretty lazy when it came to actually editing clips because I'd lose so many clips and then I would put stuff together, and it never really was from the very beginning of the account. A lot of stuff like that. So that being said, that's why I wanted to create a new account, is not to necessarily replace that account, as I'm actually on that account right now doing rune crafting while I'm playing this alt. I do want to create a new series that kind of more focused on what I really enjoy in the game and just see where it leads. I really enjoy level 3 skillers, and I have since the release of Old School and prior to Old School's release, even pre-EOC. I've always played a skiller at some point in time, whether I've had, a combat account, a main, whatever you would call it. So I've always enjoyed skillers. I was the first on Old School to get 99 Prayer as a 10 HP, and so I'm very interested in different builds and whatnot. However, I didn't want to create another Ultimate Ironman, so I decided that I would go with a different type of skiller, and I didn't want to do a normal skiller. As you can see, I did upload recently an entire OSAT series where I kind of played as a level 3 normal account as an OSAT for some time, and then I went into a defense pure. And honestly, the normal mode wasn't that enjoyable even after all of that. I just didn't feel like I wasn't very accomplished. I didn't feel like I really respected my own account or enjoyed it. And I felt like things were too easy, and that's why I gave Ultimate Ironman Level 3 a shot. And I think that I succeeded at that. Before going pure, I really did get pretty far. I had basically 80 base minus 75 Herblore, and obviously not Slayer. And then I also had like many 90s, 99s, and 30 mil thieving XP. And yeah, I was just pretty far on the account. I mean, I was about to get 99 crafting. So I achieved what I wanted to with that series as a level 3. And now I'm invested and excited to start this series. So that being said, I know it's a long introduction, and this is typically not how the videos for this progress series are going to be, but I wanted to start off by kind of communicating why I'm starting this series, why I'm playing this account, and that's a lot of information, so it's going to be a little bit more like a ramble video. I will show some clips of what I've done thus far. However, I'm only just starting to use OBS for recording content today, and this is the greatest mistake of my last series. My last series, I lost many clips thanks to Camtasia, because no matter what version of Camtasia you use on a Mac, it's the worst product you could possibly use for recording content. You would record clips and it would show that it's available, and you would save the file and it would look like it's all good, and then it would just be hit or miss whether it would actually persist. And you would open it up and it would say that file doesn't exist, and you'd have to go and find it, and sometimes it would be there in the temporary recordings, and other times it would just be gone, like completely lost, and you can't get that clip back. And so a lot of quest clips on my Ultimate Ironman Level 3 going combat, clips before in the middle of the series, like on vid 5, just massive amounts of clips and recordings were just lost over time due to that horrible software. I'm still going to use it for editing because I can't justify spending $300 on a new editing software. But that being said, this series is not going to have that problem. I have, however, done some things without recording because I wasn't really sure if this account was an account that I was going to play. I just wanted to do some things for fun and get some help from some people that are brilliant at the mode and have discovered some interesting things and do right by an account that I never really was able to do right with my Ultimate Ironman Level 3. Mainly a lot of the discovery is like the zero combat XP methods, the lower XP method off of getting Tutorial Island, just different things like that. So those clips aren't necessarily going to be included, and I'm just going to real briefly go over what I have achieved and then show some clips or things on the screen, I guess, for what achievements I've obtained this far. And going forward, I will be using OBS to record everything, so there shouldn't be any missed clips. I might not show some things intentionally, but that would just be out of choice for the video. So the first thing I set out to do is use the tedious method, which I got some support from. He uploaded a video that showed how to get off Tutorial Island with honestly less combat experience than most normal level 3s get off the Tutorial Island now, because there isn't Skippy, and it's never worth buying an account. Let me just make that clear. It's never worth buying an account, even if it's a Skippy account, and playing on it, because you never know when somebody could recover it. And I've just dealt with so many weird things like that from sharing accounts in the past, not necessarily sharing like allowing them to, you know, get true gains, but sharing to boss or whatever. And so it's honestly not worth that. I've had friends that have bought accounts that I played on to, get their agility level to 80, etc., which is completely allowed as long as there's no real world trading or anything. And, you know, they'd get their account yoinked back and stuff like that. So never do that. So I didn't want to get a Skippy account because, one, that would put me at risk of real world trading right away. And then, yeah, it wouldn't be worth that stress. So that being said, I got off the Tutorial Island with 0 attack, 0 strength, 6 defense XP, and 2 range XP, which is less than any level 3 skiller can get off currently without using that method. I'm not sure if it's patched, but I'll put a link to Tedious's video below. Then I decided, what do I want to do next? And honestly, I wanted to do an OSAT skiller, Iron skiller, because with a bank, you can really honestly focus on one skill at a time. Like, you could do 1 to 99 thieving, you could do 1 to 99 wood cutting, and then do 1 to 99 mining, and then sell 1 to 99 smithing, and you could really do an OSAT Iron skiller. But what I realized is the biggest thing that I regretted on my level 3 ultimate was just, how much unnecessary combat experience I got because of unleaked methods or undiscovered methods that are now discovered. So I wanted this account to feel like I could really invest in it and not be worried about combat behind, underneath it all. And so I went straight for the big things that are combat requiring, which is Arty Cloak, mainly accessing Fossil Island, and then pretty much any other combat fight that matters. The Taurus Trap you can still do, and I can get access to dart tips without getting any combat experience, so I need to do that at some point, but I'm kind of focusing on some specific things on the account. So that being said, as this video is starting to get a little bit longer, I achieved, with the assistance of Keyboard. So Keyboard is a hardcore Ironman level 3 skiller who's honestly just a really good guy. He's been very helpful. And I'm also going to make another shout out to somebody else who's a hardcore Ironman skiller here in a second. But he's been very helpful, and he's really cool. He's a really bright guy, and he puts a lot of cool stuff on his Twitter. You should go check it out. I'll also link his videos, his YouTube channel, and his Twitter below. You should definitely give him a follow and a sub. He posts just really cool, unique things and discoveries. I'm not necessarily sure if all of them are his own discoveries, but they're really cool, and it's I don't know what else to say, but he definitely helped me with the aspect of getting through Druidic Ritual with no combat experience, getting through getting my Arty Cloak with no combat experience, although I don't know if they patched that. It sounds like they did recently, but that has been there forever, so I hope they didn't. So I was able to get Arty Cloak without any combat experience. And then also some assistance with Merlin's Crystal. I knew how to, and did the whole quest and knew how to do that part, but getting some assistance with the main so I could get 0 combat experience for that. And I did Observatory quest myself right away because I didn't want to risk having to do Demon Slayer, because Demon Slayer, no matter what, you're going to have to actually get combat experience but to gain access to Fossil Island. But if you do Observatory and the 0 combat XP method for Merlin's, you actually never have to do Demon Slayer, so you can avoid that quest entirely, which, if you've seen other skillers like Navis, they've gotten 2 strength dealing with that quest. So honestly, I just wanted to avoid it altogether, and so was able to do that with his help. And yeah, go check out his videos. Keyboard's really cool. He's going for untrimmed Herblore Cape. He's got a mass amount stored. His account is phenomenal. He uploads really cool content. He's been a big motivation and really cool guy. So that being said, that was kind of what I initially started off with. I wanted to feel like I could get that done. Now, after I did that, I had some ugly levels, right? I didn't have rune crafting, of course. I had, I think, 10 rune crafting or 20 rune or 17 rune crafting. I had like 15 mining. I don't remember what I had. I had some pretty ugly stats, and my herb lore was pretty low. Now you'll see that I have literally 0 farming XP, but I have 32 herb lore. So the cool part about not this account that I really like is, unlike my level 3, which I got Slayer levels with, this account I intend to get no Slayer levels. For some reason, I really like level 3 skillers that don't have any Slayer XP, because I've always kind of associated Slayer with not being, like, with combat. And I know you can use books and stuff on it, but on an Iron, there's really no purpose for it. On a normal account, you have the chance to get the flippers, etc. But on an Iron, there's no way to get it. So it's kind of more for total levels, and I don't really care about, like, boasting on total levels. And honestly, it's what, like maybe 50 or 60 total levels in the end game. So I figured I could still max at 1502 and I'd be fine with that. And I like the idea of just 0 Slayer XP. So with that, I didn't want to use any books from, lamps from any of the quests, which I'll show a picture here of me getting on Fossil Island with all of the lamps that I had at the time, from Client of Korend mini quest, from doing Artie Easy Diary, from just from different quests and whatnot. So it was pretty crazy, and I decided to go ahead and dig finds, I think to 20, and then use all the lamps from doing the quest to get access to Fossil Island on Herblore, and then I did a couple more so I could get to 30, so I could just use, a couple more levels of Herblore just so I could use my Artie 30, level 30 requiring lamp on Herblore. So right now I'm 32 Herblore, and I literally have 0 farming, which I think is pretty funny on this account. I know people obviously know it's probably from lamps and stuff, but I think it's kind of cool that I can invest into Herblore instead of investing into Slayer, because getting 50 or 60 Herblore over time without any herbs or seeds is kind of funny and kind of nice. So that being said, after that I had also some thieving from doing cakes and whatnot for different things and for the quest and all that. And initially you have to get the Iron Dagger P and all that. So I got some thieving levels. I got to 38, I believe, after everything, just so I could unlock Master Farmer. And I started doing some agility levels. I think I was about 35 or 37 or 38 agility. And then right here, as you can see, because I'm about to show a buttload of clips, I got 1 to 77 rune crafting. And honestly, the rune crafting grind is really sick. It's a lot better nowadays. It's still very slow, very tedious, and yeah, honestly, I'm very grateful to have the skill knocked out to 77. I don't know what else to say about it other than it's worth just getting done out of the way, because it helps you feel like there's a burden lifted from the account and allows you to focus on things you really want to focus on. I probably should have waited till Graceful to get it done, but I honestly just really wanted it done. After all the combat was done, that's like the second thing that's always typically weighs on you, is like, I'm going to have to get around to that or whatever, and getting it done right away, very helpful. Also, shout out to Rezes for support on that. He's a cool guy. Very, very good Ultimate Ironman skiller that I've known for a long time. He's the best. So, making shout outs left and right. So after that, I actually talked with another person I'll make a shout out with, which is Night Wyvern. So I'm also going to link Night Wyvern's content. He's an awesome level 3 hardcore skiller. He was rank 1 hardcore 3, level 3 at one point until he died, and then he actually restarted, which is kind of crazy to me, because if I lose hardcore, I'm probably just going to keep going. But yeah, he's got incredible content. I love the way he does his videos. Very structured. I just like his content a lot, and he's been really helpful. Talked with him. He's got spreadsheets and code and calculations, and so we've had some really good conversations, and I'm really motivated by him as well. So from there, I kind of got some information about like what is efficient, and I'm not necessarily trying to be an EHP player here, because let's be real, I've got about 3K hours of EHP spread across about 100 accounts. So when it comes to the EHP game, like I may not be as high as many people, but I've got some EHP under my belt. It's just, you can't look up one account and go, yeah, that's it. So I've played this game a long time, and I've just basically amounted to nothing in it, which is fine. It's all about enjoyment. And so from there, I kind of wanted to be efficient, and I find that enjoyable with this account, because I don't have to go do, 60 construction just to store outfits or whatever it is, right? Because Ultimate limits you and forces you to do things you wouldn't really want to do yet. So from there, I set out to actually get some seeds. I wanted to do some Master Farmer, get some seeds, see how it would feel with just using cakes. And I got to 50 thieving just doing that, which is pretty low thieving level, but it does take a little bit just doing pure Master Farmer seeds. I kind of was just thinking about what I wanted to do on the account at that point. And so that was a really cool time period, just real quickly getting 38 to 50, getting some starter seeds for farmer later after I get 15 farming from starting or finishing Hosidius favor. And so yeah, I was kind of like gathering some seeds, and I realized I really want Rogue Set and I want Full Graceful being the most beneficial, simply because having Graceful is really useful for farm runs. It's useful for running around. It's a good utility for any account, especially on any iron right away, and it's kind of standard to get. So I got up to 60 agility, which honestly, the beginning of agility is more painful than the later end of agility. I am not sure entirely what's next. I did get 38 crafting and mining, so that at 73 agility, if I want to do rune crafting at Zaya for Bloods, I can. I don't really have any major goal for like untrimmed rune crafting. That initially with my prior series, I had this idea that I wanted to do an untrimmed and I wanted to do rune crafting. But the point of why I didn't end up doing it is because it's just so annoying to avoid getting certain 99s, for example, thieving, which have such a powerful benefit of no failure knights or Master Farmer, by just holding on to an untrimmed runecrafting cape. So what I have decided with this account, which is kind of the best step forward, is that 99 agility is the best route to go. Now the reason why is because with 99 agility, I will gain 1 untrimmed cape, and with untrimmed agility, unlike every other skill, you can keep it afterwards. So if you do 99 agility first on an iron, you have a lot of benefits from it, and I'm going to list those now and the reason why I'm doing it. Again, this is more of a ramble styled video for an intro. The next videos won't be that at all. So the reason why you want to do 99 agility first is when you have 99 agility and then you get any other 99 as a level 3, even an iron skiller, you can keep that untrimmed agility forever. Other skill capes, you cannot do that without having magic or some other method of obtaining and keeping untrimmed. So agility is exclusively the only untrimmed cape that you can get on an iron skiller and keep untrimmed forever. So even if you want to do something else first, like I typically like to go for thieving right away because I really like the idea of just getting that cash of knights and getting a lot of seeds from Master Farmer, like 25 mil at Master Farmer for just basically massive seed amounts and never having to thieve for seeds again for farm runs, or for a long time at least. I decided that 99 agility is beneficial because you get the untrimmed, and then forever you have the untrimmed. And so if you really plan on playing the account for any duration of time, it's worth doing. Now the other benefits are pretty obvious. Having 99 agility allows you to wear the cape instead of the cloak, which allows you to also boost your energy. There's one other item as an iron level 3 you can get, which is an energy ring from the Lumbee Easy Diary. It's not the easiest diary to achieve, but that will also give you a 50% boost to energy restoration once every 20 or 2 times every 24 hours, and then the same with the agility cape. So, or I think it's 1 to 100 one time or something like that. But basically, you get these energy boosts, so it's almost like free staminas every so often, which is really nice. The second benefit is when you are doing thieving, depending on the methods you're doing, agility can actually play a great part in that. So my plan for thieving is that I was going to do Master Farmer basically for all of my XP, but I realized it's just so inefficient. And since I can get untrimmed agility and keep untrimmed, I don't have to worry about not getting 99 thieving or keeping thieving from getting 99. So with that said, after agility, the best step forward would be thieving. But thieving, most people will do like blackjacking or just standard knights, because knights is the best profit, as well as knights is the best chance at pet, according to another video I'll link below by, I think, Theoatrix or whatever. So I'll link that below too, so you can kind of look at all the skilling pets and their percentage rates and chances of getting them to 99. But basically, at 91, I don't want to keep blackjacking. So I want to do blackjacking from 50 to 91. And that's mainly just for some cash, as well as I'm going to try to stay alive. And that would be really cool to get through thieving, doing blackjacking, and not die. But we'll see. And honestly, it's going to be really cool because the 91 will allow me to do Pyramid Plunder. Now, Pyramid Plunder, while it may not be worthwhile on an ultimate because you can't store the chance of if you get a scepter you can't store it, on a skiller that's an iron that has a bank, it is. So I can just gather a bunch of chocolate capes, capes, whatever. And with those chocolate cakes and gathered super anti-poisons from north of Castle Wars near the observatory quest area, I could pretty much do that. So the reason it's worth doing at 91 is that's the fastest room, so it's faster experience. It's the fastest thieving experience I'll be able to get in the game. And there's a decent chance at the pet every single time you open the center chest. I do have to be careful and avoid sarcophagus, or whatever you call them. But honestly, it's a pretty good way to get good XP. And with the update like a while ago, I think like almost 2 years ago now, where other people's skeletons can't attack and kill you, I wouldn't have to worry about somebody else letting one loose and it KOing me, only my own. So that being said, it's going to be probably the best method, because once I have the Ferroceptor as well, if I ever get one, it would be cool to get one on the way to 99, though it's pretty rare. If I get a scepter, I will definitely have the gold seals to constantly recharge it. So if I do that, I could always easily do post XP there for, with the scepter and teleport really easily without having to avoid not teleporting. So I think that's kind of really cool. That's something on an ultimate I couldn't do unless I was like purely only doing thieving. And I could do it, but it was kind of tedious to have to go and re-inventory up every single time versus going to a bank and re-upping. So I think that 99 agility first and 99 thieving is probably the most efficient start. From there, the farming aspect is probably going to start coming into play, because contracts are just so beneficial on an iron even after the nerf, I think. And it's 45 to get in. It's also worth getting all of the farming unlocks from Tithe. Tithe recently had a buff to where the clicking is a little bit less tedious as well, which I did 90. I've done 99 multiple times and 90 on my ultimate level 3. So getting farming up to get the full farming outfit and all of the unlocks and seed box and all that's going to be worthwhile. So I'm going to probably do a little bit of farming. And then from there, the actual best next step is to do a mass amount of post master farmer thieving. With having a bank, I can just throw all those seeds into the bank, which is really nice. And I could do like a mass amount. I think I've done 5 mil at master farmer before, post 99. It's slow, but it's definitely, not horrible. And I don't know if I could do something like 25 mil straight of just master farmer. That's pretty, aggressive to commit to. But I could definitely grab a ton of seeds to keep doing farming and keep doing farming contracts. And because I'd have 99 thieving, I'd have the Xerix talisman, so I could, teleport there. And just be doing farm runs. Now, inclusive in those farm runs are the giant seaweed. So, because I have access to Fossil Island and I have a Chronicle, I can easily use the method of obtaining, because you don't lose hardcore status if you drown under there, of obtaining giant seaweed to start storing giant seaweed for crafting. Now, crafting would remain 38 while I'm obtaining that and doing farm runs and thieving and farm runs and thieving and farm runs, thieving and farm runs and contracts and farm runs. But at some point, what I've thought about, which is pretty cool, is since you only have one home telly and one every 30 minutes and then one minigame every 20 minutes, farm runs on an iron are kind of the way that they always are. They cost money, and you use as many minigame teleports and as many charter ships as you can. And they even have a new update to the Artie Cloak Artie Dock to where it can take you straight to Remington. So that's new, and that's really powerful for those patches over there, because you don't want to run all the way over there. It's so far to run to. So I'm probably going to use that and just do a bunch of farming and collection of giant seaweed. While I'm doing, so after I have the seeds and doing farming, what's really cool is I can be doing rune crafting. So at that point, I'll have 99 agility, untrimmed, and I'll have all the seeds that I need for doing any kind of farm runs and storing up for herb lore. Whether I do it right away or not, probably not. I'm probably going to love enjoying just stacking up herbs and supplies and secondaries. And then I could do rune crafting, and by the time I'm done with rune crafting, I should have probably 80 crafting and maybe 80 mining. I'm not entirely sure. I think you get a little bit less mining experience. So it could be like 78 mining. I have no idea. But I'd have essentially quite a bit of crafting levels, and I'd have a lot of giant seaweed stored up. So I'm not really going to make much off the bloods, but I should make it like 20 mil is what I think, even if I'm not selling to Ali because there's no way to do the feud. I should have like plenty of GP to afford not only buying buckets of sand, but better at that, I'll be mining, and so I could do mining and I could get tons of noted buckets of sand from mining at the quarry. So that might be a little dangerous with the 10 HP and hardcore, but I have a feeling I'm likely to die doing thieving and blackjacking at least once to 91. So if I'm, regular iron, then that won't be really a big deal. And I can always just do like a little bit here and there mixed in with my seaweed runs while I'm doing RC. So that way I kind of reset, get some in there, and slowly invest in it over time. As you can imagine, I'll have a decent amount of GP from thieving. So that would leave me with, I think, 99 agility, 99 thieving, 99 rune crafting. Who knows what farming level? Probably, 80s, maybe 90s. A ton of herb XP stored, probably at least 80 herb lore. I'm not entirely sure what that'll look like. And 99 mining, and which I might finish off at MLM. And then probably plenty of supplies to maybe even start putting money into buying 99 crafting. So all of these skills would be 99 minus farming, which eventually, if I was high enough, I could just tithe to finish off to get the farming cape, just so it'll be even that much easier to get to the farming guild and do farming contracts and continue that process of gathering more good seeds, magic seeds, etc. Redwood seeds, whatever, stuff. And I like that because I can just throw it in the bank and have a stack in the bank of whatever. Something that on an ultimate, I constantly had to drop stuff, and it was just so painful sometimes. I'm like, oh man. Especially because I eventually went to be a pure, and if you think about it, I made like 4,000 prayer pots as a level 3 ultimate that I dropped to an alt because I wasn't sure I was going to ever go pure. So that's kind of the current trajectory. I'm not, saying that that's going to be achieved, but that's just to catch up on where the account is in my mindset of what I've done so far. Druidic Rituals done. Let's see. Here's my quest list. So Rune Mysteries, Sheep Shearers, Shield of Erev. Some of those are for rune crafting to start, and for Artie Easy. Shield of Erev was for Fossil Island. Biohazard was for Artie Cloak. Bone Voyage was for Fossil Island. Client of Karen was for the XP lamps and for the boost. And because of the updates to the late favors like 4 or 5 months ago, I put it, I think, all on Piscatorius. Let me see here. Yeah, Piscarilius, so that I don't have to do the really annoying part that uses the planks and crafting in the beginning. So that's really cool because you can have multiple being updated at once. Obviously, I have 100% Arceus favor, and Hosidius will probably be the next, if not Shazian, just do Shazian and get it out of the way. Slowly achieving that. And then the dig site was for Fossil Island, and also helps me be able to clean finds for Herblore XP whenever I want. Druidic Ritual, so I can train Herblore. I think also Jungle Potion. Haziel Colt is for Fossil Island. Jungle Potion was for, I think, for Fossil Island as well. And then Merlin's Crystal, which was for Fossil Island. Murder Mystery for the crafting levels in the beginning to do Observatory quests, which is all for Fossil Island. Plague City, also for Artie Cloak. And then the rest of the quests I've not completed, except for Enter the Abyss for the 9 rune crafting, so I could start off at 9 rune crafting instead of at 1. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's way more of a ramble, way less clips. I received the Graceful outfit and the Rogue set, and I also obtained 77 rune crafting, 50 thieving. I'm working on agility right now. I did some crafting and a little bit of mining so that I could do RC if I for some reason want to rotate between. So the thing is, I don't actually have to do all of 99 agility at once. Now I could, and that's the most efficient, but I can still do like 80 agility, then 80 thieving, then 80 rune crafting, and then, you know, rotate between, and just make sure that agility is the first that I get 99, so I keep that untrimmed. But I don't really have to. So it's been about 30 minutes. I'm going to real quickly show the bank, and I did get, I do want to mention, I did get quite a bit of magic XP, unfortunately, from misclicks at the Arceus library. But other than that, my XP is perfect, and I will never need to use magic because the ability to get the one shot at doing the feud has been nerfed a long time ago at raids, and so you don't even need magic experience. So I think that's why I was kind of lax about it. So here's the bank. I've got 11k cash, 38 monks at the moment. There's the hardcore Ironman outfit. I did an easy clue, which was cool. I got 12 Piscatorius teleports, which is actually useful for Hunter. For any of you guys who know, it's not fun walking all the way to the falconry spot or to the other trap spots, especially because you have to run through ogres and stuff. And so it's kind of nice that I could just go straight there, even for some mining iron 3 spot if I was dropping, which I probably would never do. But I also got this, which I won't use. Chronicle, there's the Artie Cloak. I keep the Iron Dagger in here as well as the Excalibur. Full Rogue set, full Graceful. I actually just finished full Mime, which is kind of funny, and I have almost all of the emotes finished. And I'm excited because Halloween is coming up soon, so I'll be able to get all the skins unlocked. Here is the 1750 flax to bowstrings I made for the 38 crafting. I've also got some opals and jades cut here, as well as uncut emerald. This is essentially for later on for access to teaks. If you have these, you can sell them for trading sticks, and it's pretty easy, so I just kept them. Of course, the little small pouch, which is just pointless to have, but I also have this purposefully uncut because when I do mining at MLM, I'd like to have all of those collected just to show like what I'd obtained from there. The blowpipe, and then the coolest thing about thieving now is you actually get these snapegrass seeds. So as I did some some thieving Master Farmer, I got like 4 snapegrass seeds, which is kind of cool. Squams, Marintills, Terramins, Harlanders, a few Raynars. You can see I got 7 Raynars, some Toadflax, some Irit seeds. So started to collect the seeds, and how I have it set up right now is exactly how when you open the farming skill, or if you open up farming on Wiki, the exact order of the levels and what they're for and the types. So it's actually organized perfectly to match that with the herbs at the end. And then, I've got a strength pot for whatever reason if I needed to hit hard. And then mushroom spore, I need to also go pick up the seaweed spore. I did my first easy clue and my second easy clue, and I got leather chaps G, which can be worn. So I love having a bank too, because I can just throw, anytime I get an easy clue from any kind of skilling, I can just do it real quickly and then throw the items into the bank. I kind of like not having any tags or any tabs at the moment, just because it's so compact and focused at the moment, and because I'm going to be doing agility probably for a while. So that's the bank. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to probably update, or post this as soon as possible. But expect more videos to come from this series, and expect them to be more clips and more music and more small, short commentary than a really long intro ramble. Hope you guys are doing well and enjoying all of your days playing the game and whatever else you're doing in real life. I myself have been doing fantastic. Just a lot of work, great time with the family. We've really been just busy. The daughter's about to start school again, and honestly, I can't say it's been as good as this, because it hasn't. It's probably the best it's been in ever. So I'm really enjoying life right now. working on my routines with trying to trying to work out more and trim down and lose some weight, get some muscle. Just coding a lot. I started some coding projects with RS recently and using some newer technologies, which is really fun. A lot of different companies trying to recruit me right now, which has been interesting as well. And overall, just expediting and enjoying life and growing. So I hope you guys can appreciate this video. Put a like, put a comment what you think about it. I'm really enjoying the hardcore. I think after going for so long without a bank, it's really nice to have a bank again. I will be changing the name soon to a first generation Pokemon name. I don't know if that really necessarily fits the account as well as Resourcer, but I really like the idea of having a nice Pokemon name on my RS account, which is silly, but I really am excited about it because it's a first generation. And when I was a kid, like Pokemon was the first generation Pokemon was such a big deal, and it was like kind of my early introduction to gaming. And so the Pokemon name that I'm actually getting is one of my favorites. It's kind of a random one, so I'm not going to say what it is until the name is on this account. That brings me to my last point in this 40-minute video. Perfect ending, very long, ramble, untypical. Is if you want to be surrounded by some really cool iron skillers, there is a CC called Jet Skillers, started by Jet Engine. He's just an iron skiller. There's a lot of other irons that come in here, like just to visit. It's not a clan like a true clan. I don't think it's more of like a CC or an FC. A lot of times, some other irons that I really like and have been friends with since the beginning of their accounts almost. It feels like watching their content grow. Hang out in here like Goose and Night Wyvern will stop in once in a while. Same with, people who I've watched since the beginning, like Spelunker. If you haven't checked him out, I'll post his YouTube video Iron series in the description below as well. And yeah, it's just a good group of people. So surround yourself with people who encourage your goals, who you can talk with, who can make you excited to log into the game, and can make you excited to ask, feel comfortable to ask questions without being treated rudely. The other CC that I tend to enjoy a lot is Improvement, as you can see here. And so Improvement is where I'm actually heading to get ranked. And yeah, they have a good ranking system. It's not catered toward like elitist or towards EHP only, which there was some gaps in other clans that I've been in a part of that I thought was kind of strange, and felt like it went from all of a sudden from like decent to like kind of crazy. And everybody's at a different point, so ranks aren't really everything, but it is nice to see progression in your ranks and see progression in your count matching your ranks in a CC, right? Because you're there to be competitive with yourself and to make friends and stuff in the game, so you can learn stuff and not be blindsided. So thanks for watching this really long video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I know it was really long. If you stuck around for the entire thing, you're an incredible human being. I hope that you have a day that's and I hope you reap some good karma for real. And honestly, just stay true to yourself. Enjoy the game. Max is not everything. Max XP is not everything. Having a good time and enjoying yourself is. Don't let this game rule your life, honestly. And I hope to see you guys in the next one, because I can never quit. Anyways, talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.